mode, but we hope you will enjoy it. Of course, we cannot let you touch our products that we are going to present in a minute, but in any case, it will be inspiring for some of the solutions that we have developed, and we want to share them with you. First of all, my name is Enrico Venturini. I am from Next Technology Tecnotessile. We are a research center based in Prato, in Italy, and we are very much focused on supporting SMEs in special mode, those of textile and clothing sector, in developing new solutions, innovative solutions, innovative products, and new process solutions. So in this respect, we work a lot in circular economy and also in Industry 4.0 and advanced manufacturing transformation of SMEs. Here with me, there is one of our best researchers, Daniele Spinelli. He's from the chemical department. So he will show you in a moment the products that we want to share with you. Want to say something?
Yeah, thank you. It's okay. Good morning to everybody, and thank you to be here in this showcase that to explain and to show you how are some of the best technological innovation that we have conducted through different collaboration in Europe and in Italy.
Okay, before going to the showcase, I want to say a few words about TEX4IM, of course. Yes. TEX4IM is a partnership of 8 textile regions in Europe. We are the leading region because we, as Next Technology Tecnotessile, we also have we are the managing body of the Tuscan Fashion Cluster. So we have many companies engaged in this cluster, and many of the solutions that you will see today are coming from a close collaboration with some manufacturing SMEs. Without their support, what you will see today wouldn't have been possible. And we have other 8 regions in Europe. So we have Valencia in Spain, Norte in Portugal, thanks to CITEV for the organization of this matchmaking event together with Modtissimo Fair. We have Lille in France, Boras in Sweden, Northeast Romania, and Czech Republic, and of course Piedmont region in Italy. So I hope I have not forgotten anybody. We are 8 regions in textile sector, and with TEX4IM we want to support SMEs in the development of innovative ideas. So these clusters that I have mentioned are available to support the SMEs for the development of cross-sector or cross-region cooperations, so innovative projects, especially if they are collaborative projects with other regions. And we can support companies in the development of business plans in particular. So the development of the project ideas that will lead the SMEs to the preparation of a business plan that can be used for public or private funding. So we will also support you in the identification of the best funding stream for the implementation of your project idea. Whether this funding stream is public or private, doesn't matter, we can assist you. And this assistance that goes from the generation of the project idea to the development of the full business plan is totally free for the company. So if you find some inspiration from what you are going to see today, or if you have other different ideas that you think could be profitably developed, hopefully in partnership with another partner in another country or in another region, we are here to support you for the development of the idea, so the preparation of the project proposal, and the identification of the funding stream that could be better fitting your idea. This is what TEX4IM is going to do for you. So please feel free to share with us your idea. You can refer to your cluster in your region if you have any doubt, or you can drop an email in our website. At the end of this session, I will mention again what is the website. I will show you also a slide, but visit our website, which is TEX4IM, TEX4IM for in number, .eu. In this website, you will find also the expression of interest format. So you can drop a few lines there where you describe very shortly your project idea, and you will be contacted by our team to support you with the development of this idea. But I will show you this later after the presentation of the prototypes. If you have any question, please drop your questions in the chat. There is a chat function. We kindly ask you to keep your microphone mute in order not to influence the quality of the audio of this showcase. So what is the showcase today? Very simple. The showcase will be the presentation of some circular solutions that we have developed through different other activity in these last months, I would say years also. And we will show you virtually what we have done and how you can implement circular ideas by the recovery and the reuse and the reprocessing of textile different materials, okay? So instead of making long slides and we want to show you the products that we have here in our showroom, and we want to share them with you to see if you find them inspirational for one of your further activities. As I said, these are products developed by Next Technology Technotessel in collaboration with some manufacturing SMEs of our cluster, and also through the development of European projects. So if you have any curiosity or doubt or request for information, please drop your questions on the chat. Also, if you need, we will give you the permission to talk if you want to make a legal intervention at the end of the presentation. But now I don't want to make it too much longer. So as I said, I will leave the space to the presentation of our circular products. So I give the word to my colleague Daniele for the presentation of the products.
So good morning to everybody. Today what we will show you is about some circular and bio-based product that has been developed thank you to the collaboration with companies and also starting from the experience of some European projects. So thinking to first of all to sustainable products and bio-based solution, it's important to say that there are a lot of interest today to develop innovative solutions that are based on biopolymers or conventional bio-based material and natural fibers that can be used together to develop a new solution, mainly for textile application or for the development of new bio-based composites. From our side, we have performed a different experience using bio-based solution to develop composites. One of the most interesting experiences related to the Bio4Self project, which I will share the screen. Can you see my screen? Okay. The Bio4Self project was a project that is finished in 2019, and was related to the development of completely bio-based self-reinforced composite material based only with the PLA as a formulation. The basic concept was related to use the two types of PLA.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Daniel. We cannot see the screen so far. Maybe you need to upload again.
Now it's closed. Now can you see?
I guess it will be okay. If we can put it in full screen mode.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
As I said, the Bio4Cell project consists with the development of different bio-based composites, starting from the concept of use one single material that is based on PLA fibers, through the use of two different PLA, high melting PLA and a low melting PLA, thinking to the use of a high melting fiber as a reinforcement in the fiber-based composites, and the low melting material has been used as a matrix, so to induce the functionalization. The idea is to use this bio-based formulation, including different functionalities as reinforcing, self-healing, self-cleaning, and self-sensing. And through this functionalization, the material has been tested to obtain fibers through a melt spinning process. And then the material has been used to produce different intermediates like hybrid yarn, sheets, UD tapes, and composite pellets. The final materials has been used finally to produce different composites that have been applied for luggage, automotive, and for home appliance application. The project, as I said to you, has obtained a different award also for the last textile and Jack Fairs. And I will show to you some of the products that I have mentioned during my introduction. Has been obtained, I said to you, different monofilament. Okay, we'll share to you the video of the project.
It's not working so far. Okay, let me.
Can you see the video?
No, just a gray screen.
No.
Can you see it now?
Not yet.
Cannot see?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh.
One moment, just one moment. You should see it now.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Sorry about this.
No, no.
Maybe it's a matter of moving. You are using two screens, I believe.
Yeah. No,
devo selezionare dove.
Daniele is selecting the screen. Maybe.
Oh, maybe it will work now. Yes, now
Yes.
it's working.
Okay, good.
Okay, great.
Okay.
But audio, I think, is not working.
No.
In comment.
But yes, still we can see a video.
The idea was to use two different type of PLA and to produce the yarn using two different type of yarn, low melting and high melting PLA. So the low melting is become the matrix, is here in yellow, and the fiber will maintain as a reinforcing in the composites. Finally, we have obtained a different yarn that can be produced to different fabrics and then consolidated to obtain a different thermoplastic composites.
That's it.
But
Very simply.
Very simple.
But it's a completely sustainable material because it's made of two different PLA-based components. With at the end, they are melted together to form these composite structures, made only by PLA.
Yes.
Now Daniele will show you.
Yeah. One of the bobbins that has been produced is a monofilament made on PLA, and this is the material that has been used to produce the intermediates, the fabrics. Is made completely with two different type of yarn obtained from the two grades of PLA functionalized. And the material has been thermal compressed to obtain a sheet. As you see, it's maintaining a higher rigidity in terms of final application, for example, for luggages. So the idea was to obtain a bio-based material, but with high functionalities in terms of self-sensing, self-healing of the final prototypes. This is just one of the example of completely bio-based material. And this is important in terms of sustainability because the material is made with a monomaterial. It means that also in terms of recyclability and sustainability, the material is very good, thinking to an end-of-life system to recirculate and reuse again this material again for the production process.
Now we are going to show you something else related with the recovery of waste material.
Yes.
At the end of the life cycle of textile products. As you know, Prato is a manufacturing textile area where traditionally we always recycled wool. So these scraps from end-of-life garment or textile waste from the combing process, for instance, were brought here to Prato for their recycling. So this recycling was very easy because it's done still today. It's a very complex and long process based on chemicals and mechanical actions, which are very invasive and very powerful. So in practice, if you depending on the material that you use, you have many different kind of fibers, which are a mix of different colors and different composition. This is the fiber that you can obtain from the recycling of these scraps or waste. And they are made of wool, polyester, acrylic. This is polyester. See, this is very different. It's only one color, so it comes from a pre-selected uniform color, okay, of textile waste. But in this case, when you recycle end-of-life garment, you have a mix of colors. So what we do normally is the separation of the garment by color. So the garment is separated manually by color and by composition. But when it is not possible to separate by color and by composition, the residual is a mix of colors. And this mix of colors is called traditionally in Prato rossino, which means little red, but it doesn't have a specific color. It is something that looks like this. You see, it looks like a mix of many different fibers. Of course, if the pale colors are predominant, the look is like this. But we can also have other colors. This is based on gray, for instance. Okay, and these are some prototypes that have been realized by using this wasted waste. So this is the waste of wastes coming from textile sector. Now Daniele is going to show you what have we done with this textile waste in order not to incinerate them or dispose them into the environment.
Okay, what the first experience that we have performed using different ways.
Danielle, I'm sorry, we cannot see.
But
now you should see it.
Yes, now it's okay.
Okay.
Just put it in a full screen. Okay.
Okay. As I said, these different type of textile scraps can be used to produce new textiles again. So here I reported some example. I will show you that.
After you present the slide, and then you can show the samples.
Yes, the idea is to use this fiber or for textile or for technical textile, we can say. Because one of the interesting applications is to produce different non-woven panels, for example, that can be used to produce a different type of composites that can be used for insulation as one of the main applications. But one of the interesting applications is to produce panels using thermoplastic fibers together with natural fibers like wood or wood scraps, for example. It means that then this material we can obtain different layers and compress them, the material, to obtain a more rigid structure. And thinking to a possible application, we can propose to use bio-based glues or adhesives to couple the different type of layers in one structure. And it means that we can obtain different composites for furniture application, for building, and also for automotive. So it means that we can produce different type of solution in terms of circularity. This experience has been also demonstrating in EcoBulk project. It is still running and will finish at the end of the year, and for which we were involved together with a local company to produce this new type and circular composites using different type of fibers that are available from local market, or using different type of thermoplastic fibers that can be used using the melting of this material to create a rigid structure for the realization of the final composites. So what I will show you is that we can obtain different panels. Here, for example, it's a panel that is made from textile polyesters, comes from textiles, and wood scraps. Has been including in a non-woven structure by air-laid technologies, for which we have a random alignment of the fibers and of wood scraps, and then the material has been thermoformed to obtain this semi-rigid structure. And the final material that we could obtain is a quite rigid composite that has been then compressed. So identifying the press temperature and pressure for the melting of the material. So the thermoplastic material will become the matrix of the final composites. And then I will show you this lamp that has been developed also using the composites of the project, developed in the project. You can see we can create different solution and different design of material that could be available from the market, like here.
If I can add something, this lamp is very creative. You see there is a LED light here, but you can invent whatever you want. And the structure of the lamp is made of a mix of thermoplastic fibers, waste, textile fiber waste, and wood scraps. So the final look of this composite is quite interesting. It's quite green and very much in line with the sustainable trend that we are all sharing in these last contemporary days in our social life. So it means that if it's, I want to mean that reused and recycled doesn't mean ugly, but it means also very trendy.
So thinking, for example, to the development of different layers for the realization of composites that can be applied for furniture application, as you can see here, we start from the fibers to obtain two different non-wovens at different height and thickness. And then the material can be compressed. Here is the same material of 100% polyester compressed to obtain a rigid structure. This material can be used as different layers to produce a final composite. So, as you can see from here, there are different layers that have been bonding using bio-based resins to have a very rigid material that can be used for different applications. Now we are just realizing a chair as a demonstrator for the EcoBulk project, and through the collaboration with an Italian company that I will show in the showroom.
This structure is very versatile and can have many different applications, especially in the furniture sector. As you see here, there are different layers. Maybe you don't see it very well, but there are different layers. And the external part is made of this blend of textile waste and thermoplastic fibers. And this has been designed to specifically let the waste appear as a trendy aspect of the final product. So this is used very much, and we already have developed some applications in the furniture sector. So when you want to, for instance, in public spaces, let's understand the user or the people that are present in these public spaces that this furniture or this refurbishment has been done through the usage of recycled materials. You can use textile waste because it is very evident that the component is done with textile waste.
And this type of composites could be also functionalized externally. So if you need to induce waterproof or self-cleaning or antibacterial properties on the external surface, we can treat this material and functionalize according to the final application.
And one more point is that the exploitation of the thermoplastic and the thermoblending properties of these materials, of the thermoplastic fibers, can be used to design very original and very fashionable products. For instance, here you have seen in the lamp that we have used wood scraps, okay, that are incorporated into the textile fibers, but you can have other applications. I don't know if I'll try to move the camera for you to see the material that is here. For instance, here, I don't know if you can see, you have chestnut shells. And the chestnut shells have been incorporated into the same composite structure to create this effect. But you can use also scraps coming from other sources. For instance, this composite here, use these scraps, which are the sun chairs waste that was shredded and incorporated into the textile structure. Here, for instance, you have plastic bottles that have been recycled and were incorporated as well. Here, again, wood structure. And here you have an example of another composite, which is made not with bio adhesive or bio, let's say, components, but it's done with a normal resin, but using the scraps coming from the textile sector. Okay.
So another interesting application is the possibility to use polyurethane foams and polyester fibers to obtain another type of nonwovens. And this material is quite interesting for application for the inner part of our sofa. As you can see here, we can use different this material for internal part, and this is quite interesting.
Yes, this was also done in cooperation with an SME in our area, and they have produced the special technologies based on the air lathe, as Daniele said, to produce this internal, let's say, internal part of the sofa. Okay. Yes. Show them. Another very interesting solution that we have developed.
Yes, another interesting idea is to create different composites using a different can say, components that also could come also from textile accessories to be included using a different bio-based resins, but mainly water-based resins and glues, and for which we could realize different shapes that can be used also for furniture application.
This can be, for instance, flooring, used for flooring, because they are very rigid panels. They are sustainable because of the use of bio-based materials, and they use scraps from different sectors. For instance, here again we have scraps from the garment. For instance, here you can see very well there are incorporated into this bio-based resin some locks, some parts of belts, you know, the metallic part of belts or bags, and these instead of being thrown out, they are recovered and incorporated into this composite layer that is very rigid. This is the difference between the ones based on fibers that we have seen before, because these, being very rigid, can be used for more structural parts where the resistance and the strength is another technical requirement, for instance, for flooring. This is another very interesting solution. I don't know if you can see, but here you have some, let's say, toes made of recycled yarn. Okay, and this textile structure has a base, a matrix, which is hydrosoluble textile structure. This means that if you put water, a liquid, on this, only this decoration with these yarn toes will stay on the surface that you treat with this component. We can show these also because they are very similar, but here again you use textile waste, meaning textile yarns. In this case, so we don't destroy the yarn differently from what we have seen before. Here you keep the yarn and you make their cohesion by using the needle punching technology, and you create this kind of effect for garment or decoration of your house. For instance, you can do some curtains with this table covering, and the effect is very, very fancy.
So another excellent topic is about the possibility to recycle the material that comes from fishing nets. So as you know, plastic pollution, and particularly for microplastic pollution, it's quite important topic that we are discussing now. So our collaboration through the Blue Net project has main objective the possibility to reuse again some different waste, like from marine litter, to be reused again to produce new yarn and obtain fishing prototypes as fishing nets or aquaculture ropes. So the idea was to improve the collection of the different marine litter that can be collected by fishermen, evaluating the possibility to obtain the So the idea is to remanufacture these scraps to produce again a new material that can be used in combination with additives or some percentage of a new raw material in order to obtain the same mechanical properties and to obtain again the granule, and then use this material to obtain the new monofilament. For example, here you can see a monofilament made on nylon and PA66. And then we are now testing on C this new type of yarn that we have developed in the project. So in terms of circularity, this is quite good because also we need to push all the government and municipality to spend money and to funding some fishermen activities to collect marine wastes, to produce again material and avoid one of the main problems is connected to microplastic pollution and release in the environment. We share to you the video.
show you also the video.
Okay, so this is more or less the products that we wanted to show to you. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of many different solutions that are mainly based on the recovery of textile and non-textile waste. Now, as I said in the beginning, I want to share with you some information about the TEX4IM project. So I will also show a few slides. Just give me a second. Just 1 second. Okay, so I'll share with you my screen. So I hope you see my screen now.
Yes, now we can. Just put it in full mode, please. Full screen mode.
So, as I said in the beginning, TEX4IM is a partnership of 8 textile regions for industrial modernization, and it is a project funded by the COSME program of the European Union. We started our activity by including most of the regions being part of the Regiotex platform, which is the platform of textile and clothing regions of Europe, managed by the European Technology Platform for Textile Sector. This is the partnership, as I was mentioning before. These are the 8 regions represented by 8 clusters in textile sector. Our thematic priorities are mainly circular economy and industry 4.0 advanced manufacturing. We also support the development of advanced textile material and new business models. And just one second. Sorry, there is a technical issue with my presentation. Okay, just one second. Let's see if I can move this ahead. Okay, here you see the expected outcomes. So we are creating a portfolio of business opportunities. We have so far developed 19 investment proposals, which means project ideas. We are preparing the mini business plans for these project ideas, and in the end of the project, which will happen at the end of April, we will have 5 complete business plans to be funded by private investors or public calls for funding. But this partnership has a long-term objective, so we want to make it work also after the end of the project. So in case you will have project ideas, please contact us, as I said in the beginning, because we can provide support for you for the development of business plan and finding the right source of funding. Our main target group is SMEs of textile and clothing sector, but also other ecosystems, because we have a cross-sector approach. We are going to increase the skills and raise the service quality offered by our clusters by making some capacity building for cluster staff, and we're going also to impact policymakers by providing them with some solutions. We have mapped our textile CATs, meaning the key enabling technologies, and we also have mapped the possible providers in non-textile and clothing sectors. We had a first matchmaking event, which was held in November 2019 in the beautiful Stockholm, and this was before the pandemic, where we had more than 50 participants, more than 100 B2B meetings organized, and 10 countries that participated. The same is replicated these days. So if you go to the Modtissimo Fair webpage, you will find the link to, or to the TEX4IM website, you will find the link to the matchmaking that is going on today. Today is the last day, but the platform will be open until the end of the month, if I'm not wrong. So you still have time to book your meetings with other participants. The participants to the matchmaking today are Portuguese companies that have showcased during the Modtissimo Fair, but also others coming from the other textile regions. And this is the website where you can drop your project ideas, TEX4IM.eu, TEX4IM.eu. So please feel free to drop your project idea, and we will be contacted by one of our partners for the submission of the preparation, of the business plans. So this is the website again. I will stop the screen sharing, and now I guess we have time for question and answers. Let's see if there are questions. Okay, you see in the chat the link to the TEX4IM project, and also to the matchmaking, online matchmaking with Modtissimo Fair. So if you have any question, me and Daniele are available to answer your questions. If there are no more questions, I would like to remind you that the matchmaking online is going on, so you have the opportunities to book meetings with other participants, to meet them, get to know them, and to generate or give birth to new project ideas. And also, I invite you to attend the session that will happen this afternoon at 3 o'clock Brussels time, where the experts from TEX4IM will be available to support SMEs in the development of their ideas. So we will be there to answer your questions. We will also present the structure of the business plans that we can prepare for you. And also we will showcase the other technical assistance service that we have implemented for you. So here you have the chat, the link to the expression of interest in TEX4IM website. Okay, let's wait a couple of minutes for possible questions coming from the audience. We are waiting for your questions. In any case, if there is some questions related to the products that we have shown today, you can still drop a message through the TEX4IM website. You will find there the email address for leaving your questions. As I see there are no more questions in the chat, I thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this showcase and the products that we have presented. We are available to provide further information if needed. And once again, please go to the Modtissimo matchmaking webpage to book your meetings, and do not miss the session of this afternoon at 3 o'clock for the project idea technical assistance to SME. So from my side, thank you very much for attending.
Thank you, also from my side.
And see you next time, and thanks for being with us. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.